Hello Cancer, I'm Tamara and I'm going to do your reading for the last 2 weeks of November, from 15th to 30th of November 2017. And this is a general reading. I hope it resonates with you. If it doesn't, please watch your moon sign and rising sign. But this reading is for the Cancer Sun, Cancer Moon and Cancer Rising sign. For this reading I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot deck. And I'm going to draw, which is that one actually. And I'm going to draw a couple of clarifiers from the Wild Unknown deck by Kim Krantz. Which is that one. Alright, let me shuffle a little bit. Right, let's see what we have for you, dear Cancer. So this is a near future, present, and recent past. And the first card we have for you is the Six of Pentacles. I wonder if you see it. Magician. King of Rods, and the Spirit's message for you is Four of Swords. And in your present we have Hanged Man, we have the Justice, we have Seven of Swords, and we have the Chariot, which is you, Cancer. It's a card that represents Cancer. In the near future we have Ace of Swords, we have Ten of Cups, sorry, Six of Swords, and the Spirit's message for you is the Hermit. Okay, let's start what we have first for you here. The first card for you is the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles talks about balance. Particularly when we talk about finances, any material resources we have. And number six is a really sort of nice sort of number, because after five, normally when that's where everything is disbalanced, when we have fights, when we have arguments, and then we go into the six and things started sort themselves out, and we have a more balanced situation. And that's what this card represents for you, that finally financially you achieved, you reached that balance. If you noticed on the picture, he holds the scales, and the scales are balanced. Another message for this card, if you notice, there's hands which is stretching towards this person, and he is quite happily sort of sharing his financial resources. This card is also sometimes called card of reciprocity. It's where we give and we expect to receive in whatever aspects of our life. If it's financially, so we're sharing our finances, we're giving to people who who are in need. But you sort of have this expectation that if you will be in a moment of need, and then when you will be needing those resources, people will be quite happy to share it with you. When we talk about the relationship, it's also a similar sort of situation. It's when you give a lot of emotions, you give a lot, you're putting so much into the relationship, but you are expecting to receive back something from the person with whom you're building this relationship. The message behind this card sometimes is it's okay to be generous, it's good to be generous, but you need to make sure how much you share with other people. You need to make sure that you actually have enough for yourself, because we always have to look after ourselves in the first instance, and then we can start looking after other people. If we are in a good position financially or emotionally from the right place, then only in that, when we're in this position, we can actually look after other people. And that's the message for you with the first card, dear Cancer. And then it tells me, so financially everything is in the balance in your recent past, because it's last 2 weeks of November. Recent past probably will be beginning of November for you. Second card we have is the Magician. Magician is card which tells you actually, dear Cancer, that you're in a position where you can do anything. You have got all the tools to do whatever you want with your life. You have got all the 4 elements of tarot cards, which is swords, which talk about our mental capacities, wands, which talks about passion, creativity. There are pentacles, which talk about finances and material resources, and the cups, which talks about emotion, about our love life. And you've got all these available for you, and it's up to you how you're going to use them, all these resources. So you can, you can achieve anything. You can use any of those tools which can, bring you success. And you are manifesting, and you're starting. In order for you to start a new life, you've got everything available for you. Because Magician is number one. One is being at the early stages, starting something new. If you're starting something new in your life at the moment, dear Cancer, please be assured that you've got everything which you need to start that new stage of your life. And then we have a King of Rods. King of Rods is the fire sign. It's Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius person who could be significant. This last two, this month of November for you, because we talk about the recent past, or last 2 weeks of November. The King of Rods, or King of Wands, as some other cards call them, is someone who is very passionate. He is very creative. He is someone who actually he's very artistic as well. And when I talk about creativity, it could be anything. He could be good with the paintings, I don't know. But he's also very entrepreneurial. So there is that strike in him who actually can earn money from his hobbies or from his talents. So if he is, for example, good at performing art, he's probably doing really well. Maybe he is well regarded and got a good, been performing in a very important place or somewhere. Whatever it is, he is entrepreneurial, but he's also very creative, this person. So, and also very passionate. If ladies, you're looking for a sort of laugh, is it possible that it's not a love reading, but there's a possibility, because this person is quite passionate. Good lover. And the Spirit's message for you is 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords is all about taking rest, having a time off, having a time for yourself. I already mentioned before when I talk about Magician that Swords is all about what's in our heads. It's our thought process. It's our mental abilities, capacities, conscious and subconscious. What's in our head. And Spirit tells you that you either need to sort of leave everything to rest. Probably a lot happening in your head at the moment. You need to maybe meditate if you believe into this sort of practice, and just having a time for yourself. Maybe turn into this Hermit, because you've got a similar card over here, which is the Hermit. Hermit tells you to look inside yourself and maybe be alone a little bit. So you've got similar messages twice in this reading, and obviously the message is very strong for you. It's time for you to have rest. And then we have a Hangman, which is tells me that if there is something important, and I can see the Justice card next to it, there might be some sort of delays or expectations, because it's been all, the Hangman, sorry, I put it upside down. I don't read the reverse cards. So the hangman is telling you that whatever issue was with the legal situation, with the documents or something, there might be some delays, or you are expecting to receive that sort of documentations. The hangman card got quite several meanings. Sometimes it talks about sacrifices. Again, we're talking maybe about justice. Maybe you do need to sacrifice something in order to move forward. Sometimes we need to sacrifice something which we love, in order to make a progress in our life. The example would be, for example, maybe if we love someone, but we know that this person is no good for us. We unfortunately, in order to progress with our life, we have to cut this person off, and that's where the justice card comes around. Or if, for example, if you love your job, but you're a little bit stagnated there, you might love your job because you're very comfortable there, because you have good chats with the girls in office hours, or with your colleagues, with your mates, and you quite enjoy going for a beer afterwards. Or ladies, you quite like your colleagues, you can have a glass of wine afterwards, or a coffee in the afternoon. It's a very comfortable sort of environment for you. But you know subconsciously that it's time for you to start moving forward, maybe developing your career, or developing your finances, to build a prosperity for yourself and maybe people around you, your family. In this case, you need to cut that which you love, sacrifice that comfort of your life in order to progress further. Another meaning of this card could be that if you notice the way he hangs, he's quite comfortable, hanging from this tree or this rod or whatever it is. He is looking at his life from the upside down position. This position gives him that opportunity to look at his life from upside down position. And when we are upside down, we get completely different view on our life, on situations and people around us. And that is the message for you, dear Cancer, that it is sometimes nice to look at situations and people, at environment around us from completely different view. Drop that rigid sort of train of thoughts which we adopt normally, and we get used to this sort of its rigidity. It's like our traditions, our the way we been brought up. And it's sometimes nice to be a little bit alternative, take an alternative view and situations, and you might actually see something which you've never seen before, and you might look at situation from a completely different view. And that is actually applies very much to the previous meaning which I said about sacrificing. So it is very nice, comfortable, but if you look at the situation from different point of view like he does, you might see a completely different picture, that you're actually stagnating, for example, at this job or in this relationship, that rather than being comfortable, you might actually, better for you for future is to move forward. But as I said, it also could be a delay. So because next card is a justice card, it tells me what it tells you. It's a justice. It's something being just. It's also a legal system. If there was any court sort of issues, if you've gone through, I don't know, divorce or any other sort of issue, as I said, it's not a love reading, maybe it's some sort of any legal issues. It's there will be slight delay over there, but it's been sorted in your favor, but there will be some delays. You will have to wait for the court orders to arrive for you, but it's it's all over for you as well. And it shows me that you've been savvy how, when you were dealing with this sort of legal situation, you've been a savvy, you've taken what is yours, you left what you thought is fair to leave, and you moved on forward. It sometimes also talks about have a slightly different meaning. If someone is stealing from you, taking something from you, maybe that was the situation. In this case, you had to apply to court when something been stolen from you, but the card tells you that there will be a delay. You will have to wait for this situation to sort of sort itself out, but you will be in control even though there are some delays, but you will be in control. The Cancer card, the Chariot card, which is you, Cancer, tells me that it's a victory, it's movement forward, it's being in control, it's ruling the situation. So whatever was happening with this legal situation for you, dear Cancer, you are going to sort of sort it out. You will be in a position to move forward with the situation, move forward and rule it the way you want it to be, directed the way you wanted it to be directed, moving. And yes, in the near future you will get clarity, that justice, you will get clarity, you will get truth. You will start from the clear page. It's a new start, new beginning. Maybe just new beginning after situation's finished, and it's a new start for you, or a completely new start in life, but starting from the clear page, no lies, the truth will be revealed, and it's having clarity in your life. And after that you will have a big celebration. You will have a big celebration that it's all over for you. Ten of Cups is the card of wish fulfillment and ultimate happiness. All cups are talking about emotions, sometimes romantic emotions, but I don't see any romance card over here. But I see it's all about being happy, maybe the way this legal situation is going to be sort of sorted out for you, or because you start having a new beginning, new start, you will be very happy, you will celebrate. Yes, it's, as I said, it's ultimate happiness, wish fulfillment. And after that, you will move on. You decided that that's it, it's all sorted now, it's a time for me to move on. And you will decide to leave all the troubles which you were having in the past, and you will decide to leave it on one shore and move to another shore. It's sometimes actually talks about physically moving across the waters, maybe traveling by the water, or moving somewhere where there is a water. Maybe you're purchasing a home somewhere where there is the river, maybe there is a sea or seaside or somewhere. Or maybe sometimes you just move mentally. You just sort of decided to leave everything behind, all the troubles left behind, and now it's time for me to adopt this positive mental mental activity of being very positive, have only positive thoughts, and starting a new chapter and be very positive. That could be, but thoughts is all about our mentality, about our thoughts, and if the thoughts were negative, it's better for you to drop those 6 thoughts on the way to that calmer shores which you're aiming to arrive. And another Spirit's message for you is the Hermit. And maybe when you arrive to that calmer shores, when to this new place of living, maybe it's you need to take that time of retrospection after whatever been happening to you. You need to sort of maybe use that light and lead inside yourself and look deep into your soul, into your heart, and see what you actually sort of, what have you achieved, what is working for you, what is not, what didn't work for you, and take that. Being a hermit sometimes is not bad. Maybe have some lonely time for a while, in order to sort of to heal, to sort yourself out internally. Maybe, as I said before, maybe meditate and look a little bit deeper inside yourself, and then you might see sort of get that clarity, which I think here it's more clarity after that legal battle, where this might bring you clarity, your spiritual clarity. Okay, let's see what additional messages I have for you. Well, not me, but the cards I've got for you, dear Cancer. Very interesting reading. There's a lot of messages for you. There's a lot been happening. Cancers are my highest number of viewers. Aha. Too many of them. I'm not going to take them. Okay, the first card for you is the Chariot, the same card. Then we have Five of Wands. And we have Eight of Pentacles. Okay, very good cards for you. I think all what was happening with this, either you being savvy stealing or whatever, and this justice being in the center of your reading, there was a lot of, which Five of Wands tells me that there was a lot of fights. There was, it could be legal fight, or it could be that there was a lot of arguments. As I said before, the Wands represents passion. There was a lot of passionate activity. There was a lot of quarreling. There will be lots of arguing, and but I think that justice will bring sort of this always to the culmination. You worked really hard in order to sort all this out, because Eight of Pentacles tells me that you put a lot of hard work into it. And the final card, which is exactly the same card with the Chariot over here, it tells me that when two cards from completely different decks, they come together, the messages are very strong, they reinforce each other, telling me that, you know, you are ruling the situation in the right direction, you are in control of the situation, and it's also a winner's card. So wherever you are moving, dear Cancer, you're moving towards the victory, you're moving towards the success. So fantastic final messages for you, dear Cancer. And I think on this positive note, I will leave it. You know, I don't want to spoil the reading with any negative cards, drawing additional cards for you, but I think it's all very clear. If you would like to elaborate and look deeply into, you know, your what you want to know about situations, you can book a private reading with me. You can reach me by email or through my website or on Facebook. Please contact me. All the information is underneath this video in the description box, and you can contact me for private readings. That's all I do. I do tarot cards all the time, so I'll do tarot cards reading 24/7. Okay, thank you very much for watching, dear Cancer, and I'll see you next month. Goodbye.